Welcome to wonderful world of trains, guys. Whether you're sitting on the train right now, or waiting at a station, or just curious about these amazing machines, we're about to discover why trains have captured human hearts for almost maybe 200 years ago. Just close your eyes. I'm sorry, not to close your eyes. Just while listening, just look at the trains here. What we're gonna see is amazing. The rhythmic clicking of wheels on tracks and the gentle, swaying motion. These sounds have meant adventure. I feel that way. Why I like the trains is like, I feel like they are like adventures and connections, especially and hope to millions of people around the world. Or people will have hope to get onto the train. And it will certainly take you to the destination, kind of stuff. And today we'll travel through these kind of trains, and not just the machines but the dreams they carry and the lives they touch and the peace they bring to our busy world. And yeah, that's really amazing. If you look at this way, then obviously it's a great thing to see the trains like this, because it will take people to from places to places and things like that. And usually the first real steam locomotive, maybe it was built by some sort of British English engineer, I think, if I remember, George Stephenson in 1814. But the story starts even earlier with Richard Trevithick, who built the first very steam locomotive in 1804 in Wales. So people used to call these early trains, iron horses. How funny is it, isn't it? Iron horses, because they were built like, powerful like horses, but made of metal. That's the kind of stuff like they used to. Why the trains admire me is like, I grown up in a place where I used to see the trains morning, evening. Every time I used to see the train, and it inspired me when I was a kid, and that's the main reason. And imagine seeing the first train for the first time. People were amazed and frightened maybe at that time. And some thought the speed, whooping 10 miles an hour at that time, would make passengers' bodies fall apart. And women's worried about their children and kind of things. Farmers thought it will be so noisy and would stop their cows, from giving milk, kind of stuff. It's so funny. And yeah, so that's how the train started. And look at these beautiful trains that we have now. I captured the stunning, beautiful trains here, and it's great. So railway tracks are built to be incredibly strong, actually. The rails are made of high quality steel, and that can support enormous weight. They're attached to heavy wooden or kind of, you can see here in the video, and they're like, wooden or the concrete, the strong ones. They're tied that spread the weight evenly, and under those ties it's crushed like called ballast, or that provides a stable foundation and helps water drain away. Every few miles there are signals that work for live traffic lights for trains as well. You can see in this video there's a signal as well. Green light, it turns green and red like that. These signals are like completely different to our signals. When we drive the car, it's completely different to that. Don't think that while the train is passing it's getting red. No, not that way. They do have the separate rules in that. And these signals are connected to the tracks themselves. Have you noticed that? And so they automatically know when the train is coming. If two trains get too close, the signal turn automatically red and can even stop the trains automatically. They have now maybe the advanced technology if has been developed. So modern trains have amazing safety features, like in Australia, kind of nations where modern trains, they have multiple backup brake systems. Like they have computers that constantly check speed and can slow down the train if the driver makes a mistake too. They have that sophisticated technology updates, and they have strong steel frames designed to protect passengers even in the unlikely event of or an accident or something like that. Yeah, it all depends on how safely they build the rail systems. And particularly I really amaze, I really appreciate who has built these machines, and especially, they give us hope, early in the morning, late in the night, or no matter how. In some countries these trains run for like 24 hours a day. They never stop, kind of. It's amazing. It's just like it does its own job. It just goes nicely. Like, we really need to appreciate the people who work on railways, actually, like station masters and railway engineers, and these traction, like electricity and stuff like that. Once people used to have the locomotives, and it used to run on the coal, but now people are using these electric ones, and which is amazing, obviously, because electric one is like environmentally friendly, and it doesn't pollute any kind of noise or something like that. It's quiet, calm, just does whatever it does and kind of stuff. And yeah, and that's good. And track workers just inspect them miles of railways regularly, and looking for any problems or something like that. Station staff, or they're pretty much trained to help passengers like stay safe on platforms and stuff like that. But it's always good to have mindful, guys, whenever you're on the train station. Make sure you step behind that yellow line or something like that, just to make sure you're safe. And some trains don't stop on the platform, some do, but some don't actually. So you need to observe that. Like, if the train doesn't stop on your platform, obviously, you're going to get shaked if you're too close to the train. So don't do that. So, which is very important. And don't make any kind of what do you call, like, status code or something like that. Here, like, important safety features for everyone is important, guys. And yeah, that's really cool. The trains are very cool, but we don't want to make any kind of dangerous things, like always going to the train when the doors are open, like kind of when the doors are about to close. Don't enter, guys. Just wait for next train. There are plenty of trains there. What happens if you go home like 10 minutes late, or 20 minutes late, or maybe an hour late? Doesn't matter, guys. It's really important to be safe. That's cool. I love trains, and look at the environment they go, and the way they work. They simply go amazing, and it reminds me something amazing about the life. It has a life, guys. Believe me. And something that something is working there in nature. Yeah, and just take the safety features, guys, very seriously when you're at the train station, like boarding or getting off, or while boarding. Just take serious steps. Be concerned, and be safe. Always stay behind the yellow line on station platforms, guys. That's very important, like to be safe. And never walk on railway tracks, guys, and that's very ridiculous, and don't do that. And I'm sure you don't do that. I'm sorry to say this, but those who do that, and please don't do that, which is very dangerous. And trains are much quieter and faster than any they seem. They just come like that. So we don't want to be in trouble. So don't try to do that one. And if you think like it saves your time, just go to somewhere and then pass the track safely, guys. That's very important. Not for you who are listening to this, but some people who does it. So I'm very worried about that situation when I see that. And yeah, that's not a good idea, guys. It is not safe too. And let passengers get off before getting on, guys. Like, I'm not giving any kind of suggestions or something like that, but which is good, being kind. If when the train comes and stops in the platform, just don't get rushed into that station, platform. Just wait for the people to get off from the station. That's very quite important to see things that way. Obviously, if you give way and then just don't rush, and train is not going to go anywhere. So unless the station master gives the red flag or something like that, and they will wait for you, guys. And please do that. And if you drop something on the tracks, and don't do that, guys, and just don't go and try to get it. Tell a railway worker or something like that. Just go to the station master and then ask them, I just lost something on the platform. They have the safe mechanism to get it off, or something like that. Don't do it by yourself. That's very dangerous. I observe sometimes people try to do that, but it's not good, guys. It's not safe. Like, I feel like trains are like very peaceful. That's why I reduce the noise also. I love to put this train sounds as well, but sometimes I feel like putting the noise is like too noisy for you guys, like watching a peaceful video. That's why I wanted to make something magical about the sound, and feeling of moving train, guys. Just feel the moving train, which is gentle, clickery clack and clickery clack, clickery clack, like that. Rhythm is more than just noise. I'm sorry, I can't say that properly, but I hope you got it. It's like a mechanical heartbeat, that claims the human spirit. Kind of like your heartbeat, like zoom, 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 zoom. Same way, that's what it is. Like I heard somewhere, the scientists have studied why the train travel feels so peaceful. Is like rhythmic motion is like, which is similar to being rocked as a baby. Sometimes I feel that way, and I heard somewhere, I read it somewhere, and the steady sounds create a what experts call as white noise. That helps our brains relax, and the gentle swaying activates the same part of your if I'm correct, if your nervous system, that helps you fall asleep as well. So I've seen many people, in the trains, they just come and they just sleep. Something great, yeah. Yeah, I used to work sometimes, late in the nights, and just get into the train and then just eat something and then sleep away. Oh, for something I want to remind you guys, like if somebody wants to eat in the train, please, please, please maintain some sort of, kind of cleanliness. There always, some sort of bin at the station. So just take your belongings with you and just put it in the bin, guys. That's very important. The courtesy. You won't expect your seat to be dirty when you board into the train, right? The same way, if others are boarding into the train, just be courteous with them, Unlike cars, where you most constantly pay attention to, driving and cleanliness and stuff like that, trains let your mind wander freely, You can watch the world go by like a moving movie, You can read, you can think, you can dream, whatnot. You can do everything, simply be present in the moment. And the speed of the train is perfect for, human eye and brain. Cars move too fast, I think, really see the landscape, but trains are amazing. You can see everything, the landscapes and sky and birds. And birds I can't, unless they're going with, fast and something like that. Yeah, but trains move at just the right speed to watch the world unfold like a beautiful story. Like when I like, when I get into the train and when I get off the train, I feel like, wow, I saw something really great. That's what I feel. Especially what I'm picturing is like most of the sunrise and sunset things. Like when the sunrise is happening at that time, I captured some of the trains which are coming through the sunrise, which is amazing, guys. I've so many in this one, or in this video as well. Like the train captures you through rise and sunrise. Sun is amazing. Without sun we felt dark. When the sun is rising and the train is going on the track, it feels me amazing. This is something, magic happens when you're on a train. You're part of moving meditation. I feel that way. The landscape flows, past like, thoughts in your mind, and here for a moment, then gone, replaced by something new. And you might be teaching like, what I'm going to do when I go home. I have to go home by this time, and I have to walk from there, from the station to home, and then I have to go from something like that. I have to buy something, I have to cook something, I have to sleep, something like that. People are thinking all this, things in the mind. Always something is running when you're in the train. But imagine, guys, the train, how it works. It works peacefully. It comes on time. It goes on time. It doesn't, give you any hard time, unless there's only one place when the train stops, especially while they're on the moving. But whenever they see the red signal, they stop, guys. You don't know that. Yeah, whenever they see the red signal, obviously the driver or the compartment driver or something like that, maybe the software system automatically stops the train just to make sure you guys are safe on the train. Like especially like when you're on a train, part of kind of it teaches something, impermanence, guys. One of the life's most important lessons. I feel that way. Don't feel like I'm telling something related to science or something like that, but I would love to talk about it, because this is deeply important. When you truly understand everything changes, then you can let go of trying to control life and simply enjoy the ride. That's it. Just enjoy the ride. Why you worry about all those things? When the time comes, it happens, guys. It happens. If it happens, it happens. It doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Trains windows are like, picture frames. They're like, sometimes I feel like constant change in painting inside. Like when I see the train windows are like, picture frames, like everything changes again and again. Like unlike the aeroplane windows, like when you fly in the airplane, there are obviously airplane windows that show you the clouds and tiny landscapes for far below, like right now. Train windows are like, bring you close to the real world, like while keeping you safely inside and something like that. And yeah, from your train seat you can see things that people in cars miss completely. Actually, from that perspective, I really love that one. When you're going in the car, obviously you can't see much, but when you're going in the train you can see completely. And then life in a broader perspective. Sometimes people work in the fields, farmers, and some sort of cows. Once I don't know, I need to go to some place where I can see the cows, the grazing in green fields, and their calm faces turning to watch our train passing by. Can you believe that? Like we are sitting in the train and then cows are watching us. That's amazing. Farmers working their land and following the same rhythms, their parents knew. And wild deers, drinking from the streams, looking up with, starlit eyes before burning away, kind of. Yeah, but I haven't seen any kind of deers or anything like that. Old barns and farmhouses with stories written in there, weathered wood and stone, something like that. Yeah, when we go to some sort of long places, like we see some small towns, right? Just children waving their backyards as the train passes, just say hi, hello, kind of. Elderly people sitting on porches and remembering when they were young and trains were the only way to travel to the big city. That's how elderly people think about it. Local cafes and shops were where anyone knows each other names, and church steeples and pointing towards the sky like prayers and made of stone, something like that. Yeah, alongside, especially alongside the rivers, especially, I would love to capture that one, but one day I will do that very soon. Like water sparkling in the sunlight like scattered diamonds, and boats bobbing peacefully at an anchor, and fishermen casting their lines. Unfortunately, we don't see fishermen nowadays, but before we used to have fishermen. They just go into the river and then just take the net, and then they get some fishes and prawns and stuff like that, barramundi and something like that. But nowadays, everything is like already. If you just want to go to the fishing, and you don't go to, if you just want to eat the fish, and you don't go to the shop, obviously you go to the shop and just get a fish and eat it. That's how it is. But in the olden days, and kind of when I was a kid, obviously we used to go to fishing, and where the nearby the train track, and then we used to say hello, kind of. Yeah, that's something like that. Yeah, and sometimes when we go through the forest, especially trees of every shade of green, creating a living tunnel around the train. They create like a tunnel system, something like that, and sunlight which filters through the levels, and especially those golden beams. I love it. I love it. Hidden valleys, where very few humans ever walk there. Some valleys are there, guys. Yeah, something like that. The sense that you are traveling through an ancient and peaceful world. You feel that sense, especially, and especially if you go in the cities, like to get so many stops and stuff like that. The backs of buildings, and most people never see, and painted in colorful murals and street artists and something like that. And especially the people in their apartments living there, and the private lives, and cooking dinner and reading books and playing with children, something like that. And especially the rhythm of this, kind of urban life seems from a unique perspective for me. Peaks like that touch the clouds, and making you feel small and amazing that at the same time. And valleys are so deep and green, they look paradise, and tunnels that plunge you into darkness. Sometimes the trains go into the tunnel, and you get into the darkness, like you don't see anything unless you're in your train compartment, if their lights are turned on, and before emerging into brilliant light, like being born into a new world. You feel that. The best part about Iran views is that you see a real life, not just tourist attractions, but you see how people actually live, work and love in different places, and you see the earth in all its natural beauty, unmarked by highways and billboards and stuff like that. Many passengers say that watching the world from a train window is like a meditation for them, something like that. And the mind follows the flowing landscape, and somehow your worries fade away. Some people have a lot of worries, financial stress, and some sort of griefs and love and loneliness and blah blah blah. But problems seem to be huge when you're boarding the train, but they seem very small after watching endless miles of the fields, forests and skies and rivers and kind of stuff. And there's something profound about seeing the world most while you're sitting still, but you just sit in the train, but you can see everything what's happening around the world, and you won't get it that future nowhere, guys. Even if you sit in the car and you can't see the world around what's happening, but you can see everything what's happening in the train. So that's the amazing part of trains, yeah. And it reminds that the life is your journey, guys. It's not a destination, and your beautiful moments are not where you're going, they're right there. And just right now, just enjoy this moment, guys. Look at the trains and how they beautifully come and go, come and go, come and go, and they're amazing. They just carry the lives and peoples and hopes and dreams and something like that. And every time it goes to a destination, and it doesn't stop there, it just keeps going and keep going in your life too, guys. And yeah, and I feel like the train is like a temporary village, that travels through some sort of landscape, and for a few hours and days, and some strangers come and becoming neighbors, and they share the same space and same journey, same destination. Watch the people around you, guys, in the train, and just say hello to them, and then just say, be kind, guys. Just offer the seat if anybody's elderly or something like that. Just offer a seat, guys, which is important. It's not about you. It's about once you offer a seat, you feel so great about it. You do something good, and you feel great. That's very cool, guys. That's very important. And each person has their own story, guys, and their own reason for traveling. The business person, they type the laptop and something like that, because I don't know how to do the laptop things, but only I know a little bit of this editing type stuff. Just I do all this kind of, it takes time, guys, but it's a very interesting one. And you see all sort of peoples, guys, especially this is a special politeness on trains that you don't find in other places, guys. People share arms without arguing, armrests, without arguing. They don't argue anything. they just share with you. Other places people try to argue or something for little things. It's okay, guys. Just be friendly and be helpful, as long as you're on the train, because it's important to maintain that kind of relationships and respect. Otherwise, what's the point of being human beings, guys? It's good to be human beings, being respect and polite and stuff like that. And don't be harsh, guys. That's very bad. You're stopping the humanity, kind of. Some sorry to say this, but some people do that, but we don't know what kind of situation they're into. They might be in a very bad situation, so that's the situation why they are behaving like that. But that's not fine for others. They don't know your situation, so always try to calm, guys. Just be peaceful, guys. It's so lovely to see a person in the peaceful moment. And yeah, I want to tell you something about this. Some passengers just come and sleep, guys. And their faces are peaceful, their faces are so peaceful as the train rocks them like a giant cradle, sorry. And others read book, and some people mixing with the story, like unfolding the outside window. Some people just see the window. Children press their noses to the glass. I literally saw those images, amazed by every cow and bridge and tunnel. Especially children, they love train travel. If you got kids, guys, believe me, just take them once in a week. Just take them into the train, somewhere just from one station to other station. They feel amazed, and that gives you a profound impression on their brains as well, and they feel, they remember that forever, lifetime, guys. Especially if you're a young dad or something, young dad or young mother, please take your kids in the train. They're amazing, and they do enjoy those views and stuff like that. And definitely that teaches something important about life. We are all passengers on the same journey through time, and we might have different destinations, but we're sharing the same earth, guys. And don't forget that. I'm breathing the same air, and then hoping for the same basic things like safety, happiness, love, and peace, and etc. And all these things are important, guys. And I want to repeat that if you have a kids, and please take them in the train. They'll love it, and they enjoy it, and tell them that this is how the life goes on, and teach them good lessons, guys. Nice. How to be calm, how to be dedicated, like train does all the time. Ancient wisdom. You need to teach your kids ancient wisdom, guys. Finding stillness in movement. That's very important. Movement and stillness train travel is the perfect example, is the profound note, like when you're doing something but being still is quite important, your body is completely still on your seat, but you're moving across the landscape at incredible speed. You can think of like American president or something like that, and all over the world you can roam around, but you're still on the train seat. You know what I mean? And you might be, mind might be, completely calm and peaceful, even while the traveling like 100 miles per hour, but the countryside. And this is a beautiful paradox, that teaches us about the nature of peace itself. So that's very cool, guys. The peace doesn't come from perfect conditions or complete stillness, but it comes from being present and aware. And you need to be aware what you're doing, and awareness is very important, guys. No matter what's happening around you, maybe on a train you can find a deep calm while moving through world of something constantly changing or something like that. And repetitive sounds of trains, guys, wheel and tracks. Especially nowadays, we can't feel the train wheel sounds. I miss them, because before we used to have the train wheel sounds as well. So there will be like, you can clearly see the wheel noise, they'll zoom, zoom, zoom like that. So that's very important, guys, to observe all those things. And especially when I see these trains and stuff like that, what motivates me is like, they are mindful in motion. Like, you're not trying to get anywhere mentally, you're simply being present with the journey itself. The train becomes your teacher, and show you how to move through life without grace and with grace and ease. Grace and ease. That's a great thing. That's how you need to move through your life, guys. And yeah, why trains are some of the most amazing machines is that, think about it, like you're sitting in a metal tube and weighing like hundreds of tons and moving smoothly along two thin strips of like steel and powered by electricity and diesel engines, and the generations, that generations together, they are just working there, which is amazing. That's why acquired as railway engineers are like, they are amazing people. The engineering that makes it possible is brilliant in its simplicity. The simple, but rails are perfectly straight. They have gentle curves and kind of slight angles that help wheels grip and guide the train. Otherwise, you can't have the turns like U-turn or something like that. The trains don't have the U-turn, guys, right? And that's very, that teaches us something different. And modern trains use the sophisticated computers, like controlling, as I was talking about, braking system or something like that. And some trains do have the navigation as well. I think like in iPhone, what we have the navigation like map, they do have navigation as well, I think so, but I'm not sure. But they must be having, because otherwise how do they go to one place and simply holding the tracks and going doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? But even most advanced trains follow some same basic principles, guys, that George Stephenson figured out maybe 200 years ago. Heavy wheels on smooth rails. That's the simple thing. Heavy wheels on smooth rails. That's the basic formula of train. With the power to pull heavy loads efficiently across long distances. That's it. That's the way to. But one thing, even sometimes, even if it's raining or something like that, the trains are the safest way to go to, guys, because sometimes if the rain is there or something like that on the road, there's a lot of water and the traffic is jammed and something like that. But the trains get never jammed unless if there is an extraordinary extreme situation or something like that, because the maintenance of railways is constantly done by careful engineers. Like they take care of it very well, and workers inspect the tracks every day. Maybe they replace the worn parts or something like that, and they keep everything perfectly aligned. That's quite amazing for me. You don't see anything imperfection in railway tracks. If there is any imperfection, that's it, guys. The train will go off, and the devastation can happen in a single moment. That's why I really amazed how this, as a teamwork. I have to talk about that. It's a teamwork, guys. It's a really, really teamwork. This makes trains one of the most environmentally friendly and ways to travel, because especially compared to the cars and aeroplanes and other modes of transport, and these things, trains are amazing. I would say that. Sorry, guys, I'm talking too much, but I love to talk about trains because they're really amazing. I'm sure you love them. I'm sure it. And modern train systems are marvels of coordination in busy networks like those in Japan or maybe in Switzerland. Somewhere I was watching the Switzerland train or something like that, and hundreds of trains share the same tracks and arriving and departing with split second timing and something like that. It's a vast mechanical dance choreography, right? That's what I feel, that by computers and performed by those skilled human operators. That's a choreography. That's how I feel that. And trains create special kind of social space, I would say, and that doesn't exist anywhere else. You're close enough to strangers and overhear conversations sometimes, but distance enough to maintain privacy. That's very important, guys. We need to maintain the privacy, and yeah, but you're sharing a journey. With each person can choose how much they want to interact. Like you can say hello, and if they are having any trouble, or just help, try to give them the hand, guys. That's cool. They feel happy. Once the other person feels happy, you feel happy. That's more important, guys. Once the other feels happy, when you feel happy, that's the most important thing. When I feel like, when I feel somebody else is happy, I feel more happy. I don't know why. That makes me more happy. That's why people call me, you're very helpful. That's good. And I love trends, guys. And especially when I watch the families, traveling together on the trains, often have some sort of best conversations, without the distractions of some home or stress of driving, or parents or children. Actually talk to each other, and the shared adventure of train travel, creates a special memories that last for years. Especially those lasting for years. There's also, wonderful. I would say this one is, I don't know whether you take it or not, but I would say this is a democracy. Yep, you're all right. And there's a wonderful democracy on trains. Rich and poor, young and old, all types of people, share the same cars and the same views, and experience the same gentle motion, for the duration of the journey. Everyone is simply a fellow traveler. That's amazing. And many people say they've made lifelong friends on train journeys, guys. Some people make friends on train, and some about sharing meals in the dining car. And especially this happened when I was going to some sort of one town. Maybe I got a meal shared by one gentleman, and he had a couple of boxes, and which he doesn't want it, and I was hungry, but I was about to order in the dining car, but he said to me, "If you don't mind, you can share with me." That's amazing. Yeah, but always be safe, guys. And no, I'm not advising you to take the shared meals by anyone else. But that's how the world used to be. But now the world is a bit different. It's not different, but you can create your own world. You know what I mean? Like offering something good. Like helping others or something like that. That's good, actually. And I would like to talk about this. Why I take all these railway tracks is like, it's stretching into distance, guys. Can you feel it? Like for long distance, is not looking like a stretch. They seem to meet a point at one point on the horizon or somewhere, and the long distance. But that's not true. They would never meet, guys. The railway track, it just continues forever. It's exactly 4 feet and like 8.5 inches. Do you know that the distance apart is like exactly 4 feet? And if they put like more than 4 feet, the train won't go, and the train won't fit on that. And which is most countries, and for thousands of miles at least. But in some countries, I think it'll be maybe less less feet. I think maybe 3.5 or something like that. But this standard gauge, I think they call it a gauge, a track width or something like that. It connects the entire world. I think the train that starts in London could theoretically roll all the way to China if there were not any oceans in the way. The tracks in the local station are the same width as the tracks in distant countries you may never visit. So this is a beautiful symbol of human operation and connection and cooperation and sharing and something like that. And the railway tracks teach us about life journey too much. And like the rails, we need two things to move forward successfully, like the direction and support. The rail provides the direction, and they show the train exactly where to go, and they also provide support. They carry the enormous weight of the train safely, and that's why I feel that way railway tracks teach us like life journey. In life, we need both direction, kind of stuff like that. Where we're going, we have to be clear about that. And that's why I wanted to show you some of the platforms and journey, how it looks like. And when you see the railway tracks disappearing into the distance, And remember that exactly what it represents, like infinite possibility. You don't know what's around the next curve, what views await and what adventures lie ahead. And this uncertainty isn't frightening, it is exciting, guys. It is exciting actually. So this is what makes me keep doing these train videos, and I will keep on doing these, guys, no matter what I do. But I'll do this one because I love trains, because they inspire me. They are this inspiration for me. In our hurried world, trains teach us, like, the art of slow travel. While airplanes get you there fastest, trains let you experience the journey itself, as a part of destination. Slow travel is about more than just speed. It's about awareness, appreciation, and sort of connection, something like that. When you travel slowly, you notice things, the way morning mist rises from the fields and something like that, which is amazing, guys. Don't miss those little things, they're amazing. Train journeys have natural rhythms, and there's time to think deeply, to have long conversations if you want to, and to read the entire book as well. So, for example, if you go from, let's say, 200 miles from here to there, from point A to point B, 200 miles, like, you can finish a nice book, guys. And to unlock any kind of creativity, if you want to, if you have any creativity or kind of problems and that seems complicated, become simpler, guys. And decisions that felt impossible become clear also sometimes. Like, train journey is like amazing if you do the train journey once in a while. But keeps you, alive, and it keeps you peaceful. And there's also something about hearing about watching the world from a train window. If you're grieving or stressed or confused, look at that endless, flow of the great landscapes, which can soothe your troubled mind. That is true, actually. The train carries you forward physically, and while time heals you emotionally. I'm sure I'm right, guys. I'm sure. Don't forget that. And mindful train travel means paying your attention to the senses. Feel the slight variation of the rails beneath you, and hear the subtle changes, guys, in sound as you're crossing the, some sort of bridges or tunnels, or entering, some sort of things. Like, you hear the sudden change in the sound. Notice the quality of light changes throughout your journey. Morning light is soft and golden. Midday in the afternoon is, like, very powerful. People in the afternoon, they want to sit in the different seats. They just want to cover up in the shades and something like that. But especially some people want to sit in the complete shade. I really observe that, like, when I see people, boarding in the trains. And when you travel mindfully by train, guys, you arrive at your destination refreshed instead of exhausting. Believe me, that's not metaphorical. That's true, actually. Yeah, you feel very refreshed, and you use the journey time for rest, reflection. You renewed your, brain memories and stuff. Just enduring the transportation as a necessary, thing, something like that. And when men's, like, in the early days of railways, people used to call us, like, yeah, I think during World War II, and when men went to fight and women took, there were many railway jobs, guys. That's I heard somewhere. And they drove trains and repaired tracks as well. So we need to admit, amaze the women's strength as well. They're also amazing, and they're also participating in train drivers. They're driving trains, guys. They can do anything they want. After all, we all got the life from a mother, guys. Don't forget that. So we need to respect women as well. When you find a woman in the train or something, and just offer them a seat, guys. That's, basic courtesy as a person, as a human being. They're amazing. They give birth, guys. They are the most amazing people on the earth. And today, many countries, special trains are preserved, reserved, like, by appreciating their work. So we have to appreciate their work as well, because sometimes, people think, like, women are just sitting at home, and no, guys, they're amazing. Without women, how can we come into this world? We have to observe that, and we should not forget that way. And we have to show some respect towards that. And they're amazing. And if you see any elderly person, guys, believe me, from the elders, we all got this life from the elders, right? They shared their experience and something like that, no matter who they are, like, the gentleman or woman or somebody, just ladies or something like that. Just offer them seat, guys. When you can stand, you can stand. Nothing is going to happen to you, nothing is going to hurt you, but they need most, guys. And yeah, if there is a children or carrying a mother or something like that, please offer them the seat. That's very important. Train is teaching you so many things, guys. That's why I like trains. I mean, trains around the world are like, if you see global family, they got a global family. Like if you go to Japan or Switzerland or Russia or Europe and some sort of Asian countries, like Africa, Australia, North America, maybe India, and all these countries, guys, there are amazing trains in their countries too. I saw so many videos, but we have to respect people, that's very important. And the future of train journey is going to be incredible, guys. And for especially the kids that they're going to the train and they love getting into the train, no matter where they are from. They're from wherever the country it is, but they love to go in the train because the train is amazing. That's what motivates me as well. So magnetic levitation trains, they're already existing in some countries. I heard about it, but I know there's a something like superconductor, something like that. I was reading somewhere, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. But I'm sure if that comes and we get the fastest trains in the world, I think. And yeah, there are some autonomous trains as well, like they drive themselves, like, and they're being tested in many countries. I think some computer systems can test them, and then they're going to drive faster than human trains. I think so, but they're very, I feel like that they are like they must be tested like so many times, otherwise there's no point to do those kind of things anyway. So the rest of the videos, guys, I just wanted to give you like speechless views, and just watch the trains, guys. Look at the trains, and inside some videos I've just entered, like inside the train how it looks like, and just enjoy this, guys. And I want to say bye for now, and then enjoy, guys. Thanks for watching, and keep watching, and thanks for supporting me, guys. It's a great inspiration for me, you as well, because you're watching it and I'm doing it. I want to do all these videos just for you guys, and thanks for it. And please subscribe to my channel, and then like the videos, guys. And thank you for your support, and see you guys, see you later. Thank you. As we watch here, watching the world pass by, let's take a moment, look at this train. Oh my goodness, it's a big one. It's a wonderful machine. The trains that connect us to places, to people, and to new adventures. The trains are amazing. They've been helping people travel for, or maybe 100 years ago. They are safe, reliable, and environmentally friendly. Trains carry us across towns and cities, over bridges, through tunnels, along scenic routes. They make traveling easier, mates, and more comfortable. Every train, big and small, plays a special role. Look at this one. It's going cute, silently, just passing. Nice. It's carrying so many people. Now, as we start our journey, look around. Look at this train, still going. Window shows so much. It's filled of green, patches of yellow crops, sometimes distant mountains. Look at this one. Oh my goodness. Wow. It's going great. Yellowish and orange and something like that. The train moves smoothly along the tracks, humming softly beneath us. Feel the rhythm of the train, guys. Feel it. Clickety clack, a sound that has part of the travel for generations. It's comforting, like a lullaby that guides us forward. Along the way, we see our other trains passing by, some fast and some slow. This is something, it's about evening time. Since morning, I'm sitting here to capture the trains. Look at this one. It's going to be a little bit night time. Maybe some students are going to school. I mean, from back to school to home, or families going back to home after office work. family visiting relatives, who knows? A worker heading home after a long day at office. Look at this one. All the lights are inside. Look out as we pass fields and some sort of trees around there. It's sunset time, and every now and then the train rushes past us in the opposite direction as well. But I'm capturing only towards us, which is something great. That's how you can see the full train completely. They seem to be raced by because sometimes this one is like I created this one in the daytime. It's like a beautiful view. It was a raining day, a little bit, not too much, but yeah, sharing the same rails, but going somewhere else. It's a reminder of how busy we connected the world is. Look at this one, silently coming through the forest and jungles kind of thing. Traveling by train is so special to me. It's time to relax, to watch the world go by and to think. Some people read books, others listen to music, and many simply enjoy the quiet and steady moment. Look at this one. This is carrying some sort of coal or something. The coal. Look at the all the the compartments. The trains give us a chance to see the landscape. We're breathing in fresh air, to feel the gentle sway of carriage. They are moving window to the world outside. Let's take a moment to thank these people who make these trains possible, the engineers, conductors, um, station staff, and who not, everybody, and maintenance workers. Their hard work ensures that we travel safely and comfortably. Every train journey is a team effort, but guys, we need to acknowledge that, and their dedication helps us reach our destinations, whether it's a short trip or a long trip. Look at this one. Wow, it's quietly moving around. I just reduced the noise, guys. Just don't want to make it so noisy. Look at this one. All of somewhere just came from nowhere. It's about meeting new people and seeing new places and creating memories. And every journey is a story, and every passenger is part of the story. And as our train continues on this path, I hope you to feel grateful for this mode of travel. Trains are the power, they have the power to connect us, to take on adventures, and to bring us back home. Thank you for joining me on this peaceful journey, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the ride and you continue to appreciate the beauty and importance of trains in our lives. Right, guys? Would you like me to adjust the details or something for me? More details? Just comment, guys. That's great. And thank you. And I just say sign off now, but you can still watch the trains because I just don't want to make noise throughout. Look at this one. It's a huge one. Look at the sky. Look at the fields. Right? Enjoy, guys. Thanks. Thanks for your support.